130,000 cars that are already on the road. What are those customers supposed to do? Their cars cannot pass the emissions test.
Mr. Horn, your statements so far don't give me much confidence that we're ever going to see a fix.
You said profitability is your top priority when you were speaking of the dealers.
For the dealers, yes.
Yes, I would hope that safety, quality, integrity are top priorities.
Volkswagen's top official in the U.S. facing a grilling in Congress today on the automaker's emissions scandal. Republican Congressman Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, one lawmaker. Part of the questioning, we just saw you there, Congressman. Thanks for the time right now.
Sure.
So from what I've read, the boss basically blamed unnamed engineers for the deceptive software and denied that anyone in senior management made a decision to break the law. Just it seems like, oh yeah, the rank and file, they did that. Was that your take?
Well, that was our take, and interestingly enough, what he tried to do was say, we've got a 6-point plan to fix it, but when I drilled down and said, okay, you're talking about remedies, but you don't have a timeline on those, and you've got a 6-point plan, but you can't build it out. So what is the detail on this? He said, well, we're still investigating this. I said, well, who's responsible? Well, we don't know that yet. Now, they knew in 2014, the spring of 2014, 18 months ago, they had some type issue. They knew specifically what that was in September, early September 3rd. And here we are in October, and nobody's been fired, and nobody's held responsible, and we don't know who decided they would put the defeat devices into this software. And see, cars now are basically rolling computers. They're big computers. And so someone turned off in a software all of your emission setting and then devised a way to re-trigger that when it went in for the emissions test.
So, Congressman, let me ask you, as troubling as this is, to me it feels like Volkswagen is not alone. We're going to be hearing from other companies, both in the U.S. and in Europe. Car companies are essentially allowed to monitor themselves. I mean, in the U.S. at least there's the pretense, right, of hiring an outside firm to do evaluations, but it's the car companies that pay for the evaluations, which reminds me of Arthur Anderson and Enron.
Right. Well, you're talking about the third-party approvals. And yes, one of the things we're trying to decide is how systemic was this? Is this something that European auto dealers or auto manufacturers were doing because with their fleets, they're having to meet a higher emission standard because of the Rio and Kyoto protocols and what the EU had agreed to. So yes, we're looking at that. We're looking at the regulators and what has happened in the European market and the U.S. market when it comes to the EPA and enforcing this, and why did they not catch this? So we have several different ways. Yes, indeed, the engineers, also the regulators, and the coziness sometimes that exists in those relationships.
All right. Well, we're counting on you to keep asking the tough questions.
Absolutely.
Congressman Blackburn, thank you so much for the time. Well,